Before the break, we learned about prion-based diseases such as mad cow and chronic wasting disease and how they pose a threat to our region. But how fast are the diseases themselves spreading, and just how worried should we be?
BSE, or mad cow disease.
Well, it's already in Saskatchewan, it's already in Alberta, but it's killing a few deer every year, like maybe 10 or 12 in Alberta, maybe I'm not sure the numbers in Saskatchewan. One of the big risks with that is that if it moves far enough north in Saskatchewan, then it's going to intersect with the vast herds of caribou that migrate across. If caribou are susceptible, and that's not clear yet, but if they are and they start spreading the disease across the boreal forest, it's a huge problem. Here's the thing. The numbers aren't gigantic yet, but it was first discovered in 1967. Now it's in 19 states and 2 provinces. So you might think, okay, it's pretty slow, but you look at that as a curve, and it may be starting to do this. So I'd be, not super worried, but I think it's a concern, yeah.
Chronic wasting disease has the potential to become an enormous problem because it's the largest amount of free-ranging animals infected or susceptible for this disease. Imagine how many white-tailed deer are around, how many mule deer, how many black-tailed deer, how many elk, how many moose. And then what about the caribous?
I think that if you happen to be an elk rancher or you have captive deer for whatever reason, you have to be super careful to monitor their health and make sure, because once you get the disease in a pen of animals, it's going to spread very rapidly. I think if you're an elk rancher, I would want to keep tabs on where has the disease moved in the wild, and I'd want to make sure that I know that exactly. I'd say for dairy cattle and beef cattle farmers, there may be the odd sort of sporadic case of mad cow that doesn't actually come from eating dead cow. So I would, if a cow starts to behave unnaturally, I would definitely check that out and talk to vets and get a diagnosis, because you just want to make sure that cow doesn't enter the human food system, nor does it, well, we have regulations in place that it's not going to be fed to other cows. But, just keeping a watchful eye, I think, is the important thing.
The human strain of prion disease has similarities to dementias, such as Alzheimer's.
What we learn from one may help us better understand the other. And of course, Alzheimer's disease is incredibly common and becoming more and more common as our population ages. These diseases are fatal, so they always die, and they really rob a person of, in many ways, the very essence of who they are. So they affect their ability to see, their ability to think, their ability to walk, their ability to communicate. And these diseases progress very, very rapidly, weeks to months between the start of symptoms till when they pass away. And for someone to go through that can be terrifying. And in the words of one of my patients who I first told they had this disease, she clutched her husband's arm and looked at me and said, "I'm so scared." And of course, we have nothing to offer except comfort measures and some of the education behind why this disease happens.
I think it's really important that people don't be afraid of these things, but read what you can, start to understand them a little bit better. I think that's important.
Please stay with us. There's more HR after the break, including a group of ladies in Maidstone who are on a mission to make patients more comfortable at their local health center.